The trembling girl asked to stay in the hall and sat down at the piano, and the director noticed her. She entered the great hall with small steps and tried to hide behind the groups of students who already filled the room. She had arrived at the academy only a day before, and everything around her felt heavy and loud. She had grown up far from the main city and had never stepped inside a place where music felt so alive. The academy was famous across human space, and even the distant colonies spoke about its hall of sound. The walls rose high with soft lights that shifted like waves. Strange crystal lines ran through the pillars and changed color with the vibrations of music. It was a place built by humans, but shaped with help from distant friends who wished to see human talent grow. The girl carried a small bag and kept her hands close to her chest. Her name was Lena, and she did not think she belonged among the confident students around her. They laughed and talked about the tests they had passed and the instruments they played. Some had practiced since childhood. Some wore badges that showed awards. Lena had none. She only had a memory of an old piano in her small home, and the way she sat at it to calm her fear when storms came. She tried to stand by the wall, but a guard pointed her toward the center. She nodded and walked until she found a spot behind a line of tall students. Her legs shook with every step. She hoped no one noticed. A voice echoed through the hall. The director of the academy stepped onto the raised platform. He was known across the system for leading the grand orchestra of human worlds. He also trained the young ones who often became legends. Many were afraid of him because he spoke with sharp tone and wanted truth in every note. His name was Alder, and he watched the students with steady eyes. He welcomed everyone and told them that the academy had one rule. Every person in the hall must prove that they had a voice worth hearing. Music in the academy was not about talent alone. It was about heart. He said that the hall tested each person. The lights, the crystals, the air itself responded to truth. If someone faked emotion, the hall dimmed. If someone played with sincerity, the hall brightened. No one could hide their real self here, the students whispered. Lena stayed silent. She did not want to be seen. Alder pointed at the grand piano at the edge of the platform. It looked like liquid stone with silver lines that followed the shape of its body. It held old human design, but used new energy. It responded to skin, warmth, and thoughts. It was said that if someone touched it with pure focus, the keys glowed. Alder asked who wished to try first. Many hands rose. One by one, students walked forward and played small pieces. The hall reacted with small shifts in light. Some grew bright. Some stayed pale. A few dimmed, which caused quiet sighs from those who hoped for better. Lena stood alone. She did not raise her hand. She did not want to embarrass herself. She watched others and tried to breathe slowly. She had come only to watch and learn how the academy worked. She did not think she deserved to sit at an instrument so powerful. When the last student finished, Alder looked across the room. His gaze passed over the crowd. He noticed that one girl had not taken her turn. He stepped off the platform and walked toward her. The students moved aside as he approached. He asked her name. She tried to speak, but her voice cracked. She told him in a small voice that her name was Lena. He asked why she had not played. She said she only came to observe and did not think she belonged. The hall became quiet. Alder raised his hand and told her that every human belonged in music if they carried truth. He asked her to stay at least until the session ended. She nodded. He began to walk away, but paused. He turned back and said that if she wished she could sit in the hall after others left and try the piano alone. No one would judge her. The hall would still listen. Lena felt a strange warmth in his words. She thanked him. Hours passed. Students left after the session, and the hall grew calm. The lights softened. The large doors closed slowly. Lena sat alone on one of the benches. She felt small but safe. The crystals along the walls glowed with faint blue lines that pulsed like breath. She looked at the piano. It stood silent under a single beam of warm light. She walked toward it and placed her hand on the frame. The surface felt soft and cool. She pulled the bench back and sat down. Her hands shook so much that she kept them on her lap. She took a slow breath and placed her fingers on the keys. The first sound she made was quiet, but it filled the hall like a small star rising in darkness. The crystal lines brightened. She played again. Another note, then a third. Each note felt like a step forward into a world she had never seen before. She closed her eyes and let her hands move in the pattern she had practiced at home. She played the melody her grandmother had taught her, a calm tune shaped like gentle rain. The hall responded. The blue crystals shifted into gold light. She did not know. Someone else had entered. Alder had returned to pick up some documents he had left. When he stepped inside, he heard a soft sound rising through the hall. He walked quietly and saw Lena sitting at the piano. Her back was straight. Her hands floated with grace. There was no fear in her movement, only focus. The sound she created filled the hall with calm warmth. He noticed something unusual. The piano keys glowed under her fingers, not just faintly, bright like small lanterns. The crystals in the pillars changed from gold to soft white. This reaction had only happened a few times in the history of the Academy. The hall was not only reacting to emotion, it was reacting to pattern. It responded when someone played with a mind capable of reading the hidden balance inside sound. Alder stepped closer. He watched her hands. He saw how she shifted chords with perfect timing. Each note aligned with the next in a way that matched a rare sequence used in energy design. The melody was simple, but beneath it hid a structure known only to people with extraordinary minds. Some scientists used similar sequences to stabilize jump cores for star travel. The pattern she used was almost identical. Lena finished her piece. She breathed out and looked at her hands. She had never seen the keys glow under her touch before. She pulled her hands away and looked around. She saw Alder standing at the side. She froze. She began to apologize, but he raised his hand and told her not to fear. He walked to the piano and touched one of the glowing keys. It turned dim. He asked her to play again. She hesitated, but nodded. She played a new melody. The hall brightened again. The pattern reappeared. Alder watched the lights shift. He realized something surprising. Lena was not only talented, she was a natural pattern reader. Her mind matched sequences the way others matched colors. She did it without training. She used it to calm herself and never knew her ability had deeper meaning. Alder asked how long she had played. Lena said she learned on an old piano that often went out of tune, but she fixed it by ear. She had no teacher. She just listened and repeated what felt right. Alder understood. She had shaped her mind around rhythm. She had created order inside herself through sound. That order matched the structure used in advanced math systems humans used for star travel and signal design. Without knowing, she used the same pattern that shaped part of human progress. He asked her if she wished to train seriously. She looked at him in shock. She said she might not be ready. He told her that readiness did not matter. Truth mattered. The hall had already chosen her. She looked around at the glowing walls. She felt tears at the edge of her eyes. The hall felt like it welcomed her. Alder walked to the center platform and asked her to come with him. She followed. He told her to play one more time, but this time to let her heart guide her. She placed her hands on the keys again. The hall grew silent. She played a new melody. It started slow, then rose with strength. It told her story. A story of fear, storms, hope, and silent nights where she played to feel safe. The hall responded with bright lines that rolled across the walls like waves. The air vibrated gently. It felt like the room breathed with her dot. When she finished, Alder told her that she had done something rare. She had made the hall respond with complete light. Only 2 others had done this in the last century. Both became leaders in music that shaped human exploration. Lena sat still. She did not know how to feel. Alder told her that she had a gift, not just for sound, but for the patterns that supported human science. He said music and math lived close together. Many forgot this truth. Lena had discovered it without even trying. He asked her if she wanted to stay at the academy. She nodded. He told her that he would personally guide her. She felt warmth in her chest. She stood from the bench and bowed slightly. Alder smiled. He placed his hand on the piano and told her that it now recognized her touch. It would glow only for those whose hearts aligned with its design. She had unlocked it in the days that followed. Lena trained with new confidence. She learned how her melodies shaped patterns that could be used for more than art. Scientists visited to hear her play and study the structures her mind created. She became an important voice in exploring how human emotion and human logic could support each other. Students who once laughed at newcomers watched her with respect. They saw how the hall brightened when she touched the keys. They learned from her quiet strength. She never spoke loudly. She never acted proud. She simply played with sincerity. Her music brought unity to the academy and to the people who visited from distant colonies. Alder often watched,